Here we are once again. I am making another video finally after God knows how long. But yeah, man, I'm back. I'm ready, focused, and I hope everybody had an excellent Christmas, an excellent New Year's, and I hope you guys were safe at all times. Happy New Year's as always. Of course, even though we're a week in already, but you know, better late than never. Um, Glad to be back doing the podcast again. Another episode. I don't know what episode this is. This might be like 20 something. I don't remember. I lost track a long time ago. But we're going to talk about a few things, get into some music, hopefully, and then talk about the new Avengers movie that's coming out soon in December this year. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. But with that being said, welcome back to another episode. It's your boy, Mac Diesel, the host with the most, the best, better than the rest. And we gonna get it cracking. We gonna get it popping. We gonna get it going. See y'all in a minute. Yo, what's up? The bakery. What's up? My macaroons. What's up, my beautiful community? It's your boy, Mac Diesel, the host with the most, the best, better than the rest. We are back with another episode on the Bakery channel. Now, it's been a couple months, been a couple weeks since I last seen y'all, since I last talked to y'all. And I think the last session we had was pretty good. There was a lot that I was going through in last year. And, I was very vulnerable with y'all and very open and very honest. And I hope to continue that this year. I've grown a lot. I've learned a lot since last year, which was a week ago, a week and some change, but definitely going into the new year with a great attitude, a positive manner, untouchable aura. I just feel super different. I feel evolved in a sense, kind of like Pokemon, where you go from one level to the next and then to the next and then to the next. I'm just evolving over time. So it's just been great. It feels wonderful to know that about myself and be self-aware about that kind of thing. Still working hard, pushing towards my future, looking at what kind of things, I want to get into and how I want to live my life. And just the major changes I've made as far as like friendships or dating or this or just what I surround myself around. And everybody knows I surround myself around positivity for the most part. There are some times where I surround myself around the wrong thing, but I can correct it within the second, within the minute. So I'm just glad for that. I'm glad for my discernment that God gives me and the amount of power that he's invested into me to be the great human being that I am. So I'm happy for that. But just to kind of jump off of that and just dive into the subject for today, I just want to talk about change. And a lot of change comes with a lot of maturity, a lot of just shifting your focus. And I feel like that's what 2026 is about. Not only that, but my age and how much older I'm getting now. Not saying like I'm old or nothing, I hang out with 20-year-olds, 25 and up, and they want to call me Unc already. Like we're not in the same age range, but it's besides the point. But anywho, yeah, I just want to kind of break it down just as far as my experience with the whole growth and change thing. In the last few months of the last year, I experienced a lot of different things I never thought I would. Uh, just losing different perspectives, different friendships, opinions. And it's been weird. It's been so weird to me because I didn't recognize what that was. I didn't exactly understand why that was happening to me specifically and where it might have been coming from. Little did I know it was stuff that needed to be happening because I have felt a different wave of life hit me. And what I mean when I say that is like I feel a lot more at peace. I want different things. I feel so much more focused and worried about what I have going on versus what other people have going on. And I've been around people for years, years and years and years and years. And there's stuff that I hear that I don't like, and there's stuff that I see that I compare my life to. And I know I shouldn't be doing it, but sometimes it's hard because we want things in life and we see other people that have it and we know we don't have it. So we try to like, well, dang, what do they have that I don't have that I can't obtain this? And I think a lot of that, just to narrow down to one answer, is just the grind for it. And I'm not saying, oh, you have to grind just to be like this person, but like to obtain your own thing, you have to have your own passion, your own grind to get the stuff that you want. So I started noticing, I had to move around a little bit, and I had to start focusing and locking in on what I believed in and what I loved, and my attitude just kind of made this adjustment to where I was able to be like, okay, I feel a lot better about this. I feel good about my decision. I'm not second guessing anything. I know that I can do this. I know that there's something invested in me or deep inside me that I can tap into to unlock this potential that I've been wanting to unlock since high school, since middle school. And I think I started to realize it a little more going into college. But as I'm getting closer to my 30s, it's like now it's starting to unlock even more. And now I'm like, okay, more discipline, more attaining to the truth. Like I just realized so many different things. And once that happened, I could see how it looks a certain way, or it looks mean, or it looks this, or it looks that. But the only person who should be worried about it is me and God. And me and God have a conversation every day, to the point where I listen to Him more than I listen to my own self, because leaning on our own understanding constantly gets us in trouble. We always think we know what's best, but when we allow it to take shape and just marinate in our everyday life, we start to understand like, okay, this obviously ain't right. So what am I doing wrong? What adjustments do I need to be making in order for this to be the right way? And ultimately, there's nothing we can really do. We can make small changes, but the big changes come from God Himself. So once I started doing that and started just allowing Him to take lead in everything, I could see a big difference in my life. I wasn't sad about a lot anymore. I was able to let go of a lot of things. And I think the last thing that I was really holding on to, I felt how I felt and I needed a chance to like get over it. But once I was over it, that was it. It was no, oh, I'm still mad, or oh, I'm still gonna. No, it happened. I grieved. I let it go. Not only that, but losing my grandmother really like it kind of hurt me a little bit. It was shocking. It was hard for me to deal with. And I think that grieving process was a little bit harder too, because I think I held on to just the thought of her being here all the time and always taking care of me and having our long talks and watching westerns together. I talked to her pretty much all the time whenever I got the chance to, and made sure I told her I loved her. And a lot of the talks we had a lot of wisdom behind it, because she knew I was I was greater than what I thought I was. It just took me longer to realize that versus her. And she lived a very beautiful long life. Even though I didn't know her all my life, at a young age, it was something, it was a bond that was created. And she took care of me like I was her own child. But yeah, it was hard for me when she passed, because I just it was just so just sudden, and I couldn't really wrap my head around it. But once I had, that time to really grieve it and, have my moment, I understood that she was okay. I understood that she was in a better place. And I was able to just continue to work harder and just use the things that she taught me and she told me and apply it to my life. And so that kind of leads me into this next, part of the conversation, just as far as like how I'm surrounding myself around, who's really there for me, who's really checking up on me, who's really got my back at the end of the day. And then not only that, but just knowing, and this is not something I want to make a constant thing to talk about, but like if I can be open and honest, when it came to dating or when it comes to dating, at least previously to now, I was very much, oh, I want to be in love. I want to have kids by this age. I want to have a house by this age. I want to do this by, I had a timeline for everything. Again, our timeline that we set for ourselves, cool, reach that goal. But at the end of the day, God knows more of a timeline than we do. So we have to be patient in that standpoint. But something about the change in my life, in this stage in my life, see, my birthday's in February. I'll be 29 this year. And other than what I've surrounded myself around and who I've surrounded myself around, the people that I consider dating definitely have a giant impact on my life. And the reason I say that is because I have a big heart. I'm very much a people pleaser at times because I don't ever want to feel like I'm disappointing you, or I don't ever want to feel like, I don't have your back, or I can't do things for you or anybody for that matter. And for a while, a lot of people would tell me that, but I never grasped onto it like I wanted to. Like I was like, I don't care. I'm just going to do it anyways. And a lot of times it put me in a situation to where I had to like understand, especially after the many lessons I've learned from this kind of attitude, is like, I can't be a people pleaser. I can't be something that I'm not for other people, because people want you to be a certain way. They want you to live a certain life. They want you to provide for them. And that goes for friendships too, but it's like people want you just to stay who you are, but little do they know everybody's got to evolve in a certain way. And whether that means you're evolving to be a jerk or evolving to be a better person, that's totally your journey. But at the same time, the way you go about it makes a difference around you. And I noticed that when it came to the dating world, I was very much a yes man. I was very much, okay, I'll do this, I'll do this. And it wasn't until a past situation where I was dating a young lady, or getting to a point of dating a young lady. We were in a talking phase where we're getting to know each other and learn about each other, what makes us tick, what makes us happy, what makes us smile, what makes us sad, and all those good things. And it started off super smooth. Everything was great. We were just enjoying each other's time, having a lot of fun. And at some point it got to a situation, a space where I wasn't being respected. And again, I was a people pleaser, not as much now, but I definitely was, because I was scared of the fact that something would go wrong and then it would end in a terrible, like, just terrible way. So I started to really just let my guard down a little bit with this person. But over time, I started to see, in the matter of like 2 months, I started to see like a shift and a change once they were comfortable with me. And it came with a lot of disrespect. It came with a lot of dismissal. It came with a lot of like uncertainty. It came with a lot of insecurity. And two situations with this person kind of showed me a different side. And I knew I had to make a decision. I had to be self-aware in the moment. And I had to realize, I don't deserve that kind of treatment. As much as I'm trying to be there for you and show you respect and have your back, you're not even allowing me to do that. So once I seen that was happening, I was just like, hey man, I need you to talk to me. I need you to be open with me and just be yourself, be vulnerable. And it was just a lot of backfire, a lot of just I don't need to do anything, da 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 da, this, that, and the third, whatever. And I was like, okay. I said, I'm gonna be honest with you. I can only do so much for you, but if you're not willing to at least try with me, then what are we doing? And at that point, that it came to dismissal. I would tell her how I felt and bring something to her attention so we could fix it, and it never got fixed. So at that point, I was like, hey, I'm not going to try to make you understand my potential. If you don't see it, then there's nothing I can do for you. It is what it is. So at that point, I backed off, took my space, and just left her alone. And that caused her to push and pull. She played victim. I fed into it. Then I got something totally different. I got the same attitude again. And it was a push and pull. And then at that point, I was just like, I'm not gonna keep doing that with you. You say you want to talk, we try to talk, and then you turn into the same person. So after the first time, I was like, no, I was like, I'm not gonna do that no more. And I was so proud of myself because instead of trying to please her and trying to make her happy and move on past the disrespect and the attitude, I was like, no, I don't have to settle. There's no reason for me to settle for you. There's no reason for me to constantly take disrespect when I've done nothing but be respectful towards you. So the attitude that you have, that's just not gonna cut it anymore. And I hope you find the peace that you're looking for and searching for, because at the end of the day, it starts with you. I can't do it for you. I can't give you that happiness that you want. You have to find it for yourself. So I was proud of myself. I was still respectful at the end of the day, even though she wanted to keep texting me and blowing up my phone. I respectfully just told her, hey, I hope you find peace and all that good stuff. So that's when it really hit me in my head, like, dang, like I'm like in a whole different zone than I was before. And I think people are starting to realize that now. And the fact that I'm just like distancing myself or separating myself, they don't understand why. And it's like I have to have my own peace. I can't continue to be something that I'm not. I have to develop into my own person. And I know a lot of people say like, "Oh, you develop into your own person in your 20s and da 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 as you're growing up." No, you develop whenever you develop. That's just what it is. That's just how people are. I'm a late bloomer, so I figured it out a little bit later than others. But the fact that I figured it out is what matters more versus trying to rush something that's not there yet. So I was just truly proud of myself in that moment, and just staying in my character and not getting out of character to where I would have been disrespectful or rude or said something ugly. Um and then like just to kind of like in the whole subject matter as far as change, I am in a space right now where I am just learning, embracing. I don't know, man. I don't know the last word, but just learning and embracing is the best I could come up with right now. And I'm so happy for it because it's something that I've longed for. It's something that I wanted to take in with everything that I do and just not be afraid. I think for a long time I was afraid of what could happen or what was going to be, but the fact that I'm just willing to allow stuff to take its course and take its continued effort to teach me is something you can't teach that. The fact that I'm just coachable in this life, it's like sports. You're coachable in sports, you can be coachable in life. And it's insane to how to know that and to just notice that myself and again be self-aware. I like the fact that I'm finding out who I am in this age, and just knowing that I'm not gonna tolerate disrespect anymore. I'm not gonna try to be a people pleaser. I'm not gonna try to make others happy when I'm not happy. I, I'm I'm thankful for that change. I'm thankful for what God's doing in my life because I could have easily been like everybody else, followed the same path, been out here doing stupid stuff, not caring about anything. And in reality, I care. I care about me. I care about my happiness. I care about what brings me joy. I care about, the things that matter. I can't sit here and dwell on the past. I can't sit here and be sorry for myself. I can't sit here and just be sad all the time. Yeah, you can be sad. It's normal. We're all human beings. We all got feelings. But it's more so about if you're sad, how are you going to take that sadness and focus it in on something bigger? How are you going to take that sadness and change it for the better? Because a lot of lessons come with a lot of happiness, and they come when happiness and lessons come together, they dictate the change that you want in your life. And as long as you're staying focused on your path and focused on what you want to do and focused on the person you're trying to be, and then allowing everything to take its course the way it's supposed to, you don't really have much to worry about. You just have to worry about what's coming next. And then whatever's coming next, how am I going to embrace that? How am I going to put that in order in my filing cabinet? So that way, if I need to go back, I can remind myself, okay, this is what happened here. I'm dealing with this here. How can I take that lesson and put it here and put it in other places in my cycle to where I'm able to just keep it rolling, keep it pushing. So ultimately, I'm blessed and I'm grateful for the change that's coming. I'm blessed and grateful for the knowledge that I embraced last year and pulling into this year, and just the amount of stability that I'm creating for myself. So I would say, to end this and to give the advice to other people's, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to step out. Don't be afraid to do you. Don't be afraid to distract yourself from what's bothering you. Don't be afraid to just love yourself and put yourself first. Because at the end of the day, nobody's doing it for you. So why not do it for yourself? When you do it for yourself, it just makes it that much more valuable and that much more blooming to the eye. So take that in, do what you will with it, and be the person you want to be. So now that we got all that mushy stuff out the way, I want to get into our favorite topic, studio sesh. Now, studio sesh is one of my favorite subjects because it's about music, and I'm very much musically inclined. I can sing, I can dance a little bit. I can't do all the flips and all that other crap and the stuff that these dancers do, but I can do enough to where it's a vibe. Some of the music that I've listened to recently, which is probably the last thing I listened to, Olivia Dean. Man, she's an up and coming artist. She's super, super talented. She's just got, I don't know what it is about her. Her vibe and how she sings is super appealing, and it's super, super good. I haven't listened to everything that she has, but some of the stuff that she's put out recently has been really, really good, and it's super catchy. A lot of people are singing it. Like, I think a lot more men are singing it than women, but women be hating on us like we don't enjoy that type of music. Like, that music is good. It's so good. And then y'all be like, oh, that's sassy. Oh, that's this, that's that. So it's a good song. What are you're mad because I like music? I don't care. Be mad. That's on you, not me. But yeah, Olivia Dean is really, really good. Bruno Mars just dropped another song. He's getting ready to drop an album the day before my birthday. And he's also going on tour in September, which I got pre-sale ticket, or I'm going to get pre-sale tickets for that. So I'm super excited about that. And then yeah, it's gonna be a good year. I can already tell for Bruno. I think he's gonna really come back to what he where he once was. I think he's really gonna be, you know, just he's gonna drop some fire. He's definitely gonna drop some fire, and I'm super excited about it. So yeah. Also, Fetty Wap just got released from jail, which is I forgot he was in jail. The last thing I remember from him was in high school. What's that song everybody sings? Remy Boys. Yeah. Uh, I got put on that song in high school and I was like, okay, this song is so good. And he can sing, he's talented, he's super talented. But yeah, he just got released from jail. So that's a blessing for him. Thank God for that. You know, never want anybody to go to the jail. Unless they deserve to be in jail, obviously. But you know, sometimes we make mistakes. We have to do what we need to do, take responsibility, accountability, and pay the price. And then when you get out, you know, you gotta just try and find a way to do better. Don't fall back into the stuff that you fell in before. So yeah, Fetty Wap is out of jail. And then I don't know what I don't know what's been going on lately, but okay, so I like Omarion. I think Omarion is a great artist. But for whatever reason, right? I just recently listened to what's that song? It's called Oh. And again, when I was younger, before I was so starstruck by Chris Brown, that was my Chris Brown. He was the one that I would listen to all the time. I don't know what it was. I don't think I just didn't catch on to him like that. I couldn't latch on to him. Like I'll still listen to his stuff. His stuff is really, really good. I think Chris Brown just had more pop, I guess. He just popped out more to me. So I was more inclined to listen to him than I was Omarion. But the song, oh, I don't know what it is about that song, but it is so good. And I think the last couple weeks, and y'all can ask Kevin. Ask Kevin. He's boy swipes on everything. If you ask him, I had listened and sang that song pretty much the last 2 weeks since we've been hanging out and playing the game together and all that other stuff. I mean, we've been friends for a very long time, but we weren't as close as we are now. But since we've gotten closer, that song, and he's a music head too, but when I hear that song, I just keep singing it. He was like, bro, stop singing that song. You sing it already. Stop singing it. And I was like, bro, I can't help it. It's a good song. Can you blame me for that? And y'all gonna stop hating on me. Sometimes I like to listen to songs 3-4 times, mostly because I want to get the lyrics down, but also because I just like the damn song. Okay, I can't help that. That's just me. It's just me. Okay, I can't help it. Sorry. But yeah, I really, really enjoy that song. That song is super, super good. It's just like, it's catchy. It's just catchy. Even though I know what it's about, it's catchy. Can you blame me for that? It's gonna be a good year for music. I know Drake is dropping music, Breezy's dropping music, Bruno's dropping music. Um, Hopefully some of my other our favorite artists are gonna drop music soon, and we'll just have a blast. I feel it. I feel it. I feel like it's gonna be like 2016 again, where we just had a plethora of good music from these great artists, and I'm so excited for it. Something in my soul is telling me. And if I'm wrong, I'm gonna clip this. If I'm wrong about the music this year, and it's not like 2016, I will do a challenge. I'll do something. I don't know. I'll eat a bag of hot chips with no water. I'll eat a Popeyes biscuit with no water. I'll do something crazy. If the music from 2016 is not like this year, I'll do something. I'll let y'all put it in the comments, but we'll see. I don't know yet. So yeah, that's all I got for studio sesh. And now we are jumping into our final subject of the day: movies and friends. Let's talk about the Avengers, bro. First of all, well, let's talk about Avengers first. The way they are pulling this out right now, the way they are getting ready to just like put together a whole trailer for all the trailers that they've dropped. And if you haven't seen them, you might want to get out of here because I don't want to ruin it for you. But just a spoiler alert, they got Thor. They got Captain America coming back. They got Professor X and Magneto. and they got Cyclops. Already off rip, that's all I need to see, because that just tells me that it's gonna be a wicked movie, and I'm super excited about that because it's just all about storytelling, and it's like they're giving these Easter eggs, they're dropping these little videos, and it's just every day I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is who I wanted back in the MCU. Not even in the MCU, but this is who I wanted to see make a movie. And I think Marvel is going in the right direction with this, because in the comic books, everybody has their own origin, everybody has their own story, everybody has their own timeline. But ultimately, we're all Marvel. They're all Marvel. I said we, like I'm a part of the cast and a part of the writing crew and all that. I don't care. I am. I'm in the back though. But yeah, I feel like the way that they're bringing it together is making so much sense. And I didn't read all the comics. I haven't read all the comics, but my uncle has, and I know he knows a lot of knowledge about this, and I'm going to ask him about it. But from what I've seen and what I know about and what I've heard about, it's like everything's going in the right direction as far as like the comic books and the movies and how they're putting it together. It's just making so much sense right now. And I just saw something on Instagram where the I don't know the actor's name, but the gentleman that plays Loki, he flat out just said they're all there and they're all existing because of Tobey Maguire, because of the original Spider-Man. And I can't agree more. The original Spider-Man was one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. I mean, not Tom Holland. It was Tobey Maguire. I hope I said Tobey Maguire. Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. That's the most goated Spider-Man I've ever seen in my life. All three movies. He played that role to a T. Even when he was in the Tom Holland movie, he still played his role like he had been playing it from the beginning. And I give credit where credit is due, because that man, oh my gosh, he made my life. He made who I am today. He has created this character. This character that he played really resonated with me in different ways that people don't understand. And people don't understand why I like Spider-Man so much. You have to watch the movies in order to understand why. That's the only way you get it. I can't explain it to you to where you understand. But when you watch the movie, you start to, like, the wheels start turning. You start to be like, okay, now I understand why Mac Diesel likes Spider-Man, because it just makes sense. It just doesn't, you know what I'm saying? I can't tell you. I can't. I have no answer for you. I just don't. Come on, man. Come on. It's just how it is. It's just there. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I got to say about Marvel. I'm gonna go on a rant if I don't stop. Now we're talking about Stranger Things. Stranger Things is such a good show. They ended it in a way I didn't like. I didn't prefer, but obviously they had to do it in order to finish the job. And again, no spoilers, but if you haven't seen it, you need to see it. And when you do see it, you're probably gonna be pissed, but it's worth the watch. I promise you that. So I would recommend you go see it. I would recommend prepare yourself, because there's a lot that you're going to be like, what the hell just happened? But at the same time, it's going to be like, okay, I understand it. I get it. You know, I just get that's just how it is. And then also, I don't know if I've talked about it in the last video, but Five Nights at Freddy 2, very well put together. I haven't played all the games. I don't think I'm going to, but it definitely follows the story, and it's so good. I think they're doing a magnificent job with that, and they're definitely tying everything together, and everything's just it's just magic. I don't know. It's just put together so well. I love it. I love it. The storytelling, the characters, everything that happens in between. Although I will say the end of Five Nights at Freddy 2 was a very big surprise for me. I will say that. So I'm just going to lay that there. But that's all I got for y'all today. I appreciate y'all coming through. I appreciate y'all always showing me support, whether it's 15 people watching it or 100 people watching it or even just 2. I don't care. I'm grateful for those who are taking the time to actually watch my videos and be intrigued with everything that I talk about and just take something from it. Whether you do or you don't, I know I'm still trying to evolve in this space, in this podcast space. So just, I'm trying. I'm doing my best that I can. I feel like even when I'm not recording, I feel like sometimes I do talk about the same stuff a lot, but it's a podcast about my experiences, what I've been through, and ways I can give a story to y'all to where y'all can learn from me or take what you've heard from me or watched and apply it to your life. So I just want to keep reiterating that and remind y'all of why I do it. Not only that, but also because it helps me, and I love to create and be in a space where it's my own, and I love it every day. Like, even when I'm not doing the podcast, when I'm doing gaming and stuff like that, it does something to my brain and my heart and my inner child, and just makes me a happy person at the end of the day. So this is what I do it for. But again, I appreciate y'all coming through. Don't forget to like, subscribe, repost, retweet, all that good stuff. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.